Okay.
Let me also like try to. Okay, hello everyone. Good morning. I mean, it's morning here in Arizona. I know it's evening in Morocco and afternoon somewhere else in the world. But good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining this episode of my CorpsAfrica Story podcast. It's been a long time, and that's because I was in the process of moving. I'm now in Arizona state, so yeah. So welcome again to the 26th episode of my CorpsAfrica Story podcast. I am your host Mourad, and this is a podcast where I help to tell the fascinating stories of CorpsAfrica alumni volunteers and their service. My CorpsAfrica Story podcast provides a chance to hear some diverse and exciting stories of volunteers, staff, and others that helped make CorpsAfrica a successful story. These volunteers inspire more African young people to join the organization, CorpsAfrica, or other organizations to serve people in need in their own countries. I would like to thank Ms. Liz Fanning, the Executive Director and founder of CorpsAfrica, for her continued support for this podcast initiative and giving us alumni an opportunity to share our exciting stories. Today, I'm very excited to introduce to the platform Ms. Saâdia Dinia. Hello, Saâdia.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and you?
Doing great. Are you now in Morocco, right?
Yes, right now I'm in Rabat, my hometown in Morocco, and it's a beautiful day.
Yeah, beautiful day. I'm in Arizona, Tucson, and yesterday, it was raining yesterday. I mean, usually when I came here, this is my first week here, it was like so hot, but yesterday it was raining, so I was like so happy, and so I went to the rain, and I walked in the rain because I missed the rain.
But where are you from in Morocco?
I'm from the south of Morocco. It's like a little town called Erfoud.
Okay, it's usually hot there then.
Yeah, so I'm used to it. So when I came here, I saw palm trees and I was like, oh my gosh, it's home.
Wow.
Sadia, I know a little bit about you, but for our audience, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, your academic background, and your interest?
Yeah, sure. Well, as you know, I'm Saâdia. I'm 30 years old. I'm from Morocco, from Rabat, and I have an academic background in communication and international relations from Al Akhawain University in Ifran in Morocco. I joined CorpsAfrica in 2018. It was a dream for me come true. And right now I'm actually learning permaculture and agroecology because I intend to move to our family farm and start an organic farming project.
That's awesome. That's really amazing. What got you interested in like organic farm? Is it like there's a connection between what you have done in CorpsAfrica and now this project?
Definitely there is a connection because during my service in CorpsAfrica, I was in very close contact with nature all the time, being in the middle of mountains and fields and apple trees and nut trees. And I really loved that feeling of being constantly in touch with nature and that return to simple life. And I also met wonderful people who were into the permaculture field and into eco building as well. So it opened a whole new world for me. And I started reading a lot about it and watching videos on YouTube. And also, I think the COVID crisis and climate change have got me more and more interested into permaculture and organic farming and changing my whole way of life.
Yeah, that's really fascinating. I mean, one thing that you have mentioned that really clicked with me is that during our experience in CorpsAfrica, we were in touch with nature,
Yeah,
and like never before. Like for example, when you live in the city, like
yeah,
cars, kind of pollution, kind of thing. Like the air quality is not that perfect. But when you live in the mountains, or like you're constantly like in touch with this really deep feeling of like, oh, I'm in nature, like there's
yeah.
some great feelings, right? Like you feel like, I don't know, you feel like connected with the mother earth, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. And also there's animals all around you,
Animals.
chicken, cows. You wake up to the sound of chicken, and then it's a very, very beautiful experience, really. And cats, dogs.
Mhm.
It's amazing.
Great. And also, like you said, that you're connected also this project with global warming and what's
Yeah,
changing in the world right now. We
yeah.
we need awareness about like about global about like bio products, like how to live.
Um,
Yeah.
Actually, one time I heard a sentence which really clicked with me.
Mhm.
It was saying that every organic farm on earth, it's like a pansement. I forgot what's the word in English. It's like a pansement. What's the, well, anyway, it's like well, I forgot the word, but I mean, the idea was that every organic farm, it's contributing to healing the planet.
Okay. Yeah, that
Yeah.
I agree with you. I really agree with you. Like, the planet needs to be healed, really, definitely. And so projects like this really, and also like I know that a lot of CorpsAfrica volunteers have done so many projects in their sites regarding, organic farming projects with communities. So have you done something like that in your community? Like, I don't know, like a small project like this, or no, when you lived in a CorpsAfrica site? But also, like, first of all, like, tell us a little bit about your site.
Oh,
Where
sure.
CorpsAfrica.
Well, I was stationed in Timishi. My host village name was Timishi.
Okay.
It's a little village in the high Atlas Mountains. It's very remote. It's about 2,000 meters altitude. Um, 2,000 meters above sea level,
Mhm.
and about 5 hours walk from the closest city, which is called City Fatma, which is about, I think, less than 2 hours from Marrakesh. So it was a bit in the south as well. And it's an Amazigh village. People are native Amazigh. And there's about 40 households in the village, let's say about 200 souls, not counting the men who go to the city to work. And it's located on a slope. It's located on a mountain slope, and it has a view on a valley and the Urika River. And in the valley, they're cultivating apple and nut trees, and also some vegetables, some subsistence farming, basically. And yeah, that's my village, my
Yeah,
host village.
that's amazing. I mean,
And
mhm.
okay,
You can go ahead.
I lived in the guest house. Actually, there were two guest houses in my village. I lived in one of them with Sibrahim and his family of 9 members, who were in the house: the grandmother, the parents, the children, and the grandchildren. It was a lovely atmosphere. From time to time, we received tourists and hikers. And I used to have really, really interesting conversations with them. They always were very surprised to find me over there. Yeah, and my immersion project was teaching the little kids who don't go to school
Mhm.
So when I went to my host village, I found that the community had already organized a little room for me to start teaching the little kids. So that's how I began establishing trust with my host community through teaching the little kids, which I enjoyed so much.
I can see it. I can see that. It's a wonderful feeling when you spread knowledge and when you motivate, when you inspire those little kids who are eager to learn. You know, they see you as a role model and like, whoa, I mean, I graduated from Akhawain, she's teaching us, like, and so like they want to be they want to be inspired by you. And so a lot of things that you have described can also I can agree that when I was living in Azadan, I'm not sure if you heard about Azadan.
Yeah. Actually, one of my best friends from CorpsAfrica lived there as well.
Okay. Well, it's the same thing, like the valley, the apple nuts, the vegetables, the guest houses, the like. But my question to you is like, how did you? I mean, the transition from a life in the city to a life in the village, was it difficult for you? Was it challenging at the beginning? I mean, I know that you had a host family that were wonderful, but like I know there was also language barriers, and so how did you deal with some those changes?
I think what helped me was that I was aware of the difficulties, and I was ready for anything really. It was my dream and I wanted to succeed in it, and I was ready for any change, anything. But I think the fact that I lived in the guest house of Sibrahim was very helpful, because there used to be a certain comfort that was not available in the other houses of the village. I had my private room, I had running water, I had electricity, I had a mat. So, and I remember I spent the whole 2 weeks, actually my first 2 weeks, were trying to make of this room my room. Like I brought some family pictures, just family pictures. I actually I didn't want to bring anything. I really wanted to live like the people. But yeah, I tried to just have a sense of home by placing the mat that way, and there was just a small table this way. That's it. That's all I had: a mat and a small table on which I placed my journal, and I put family pictures on the wall. And I placed my clothes on the mats, and I covered them with a little cover, and that's all. And by the end of it, I really felt that it was my room, it was my place. I didn't spend actually I didn't spend time at all during the day in my room, because I would just I would spend it with my host family, that's the point, and with the village, the community village. But when I would come back during the night, I was happy to find this little private space. I think it's very important to have some privacy during your service, because otherwise you might get overwhelmed by so much change. So you need this little, it could be a room, it could be under a tree somewhere near a river, or but you need this would say like half an hour or an hour of silence and just being with yourself in the day. Exactly. So the fact that I was in Ibrahim's guest house really helped me, helped my transition. And the fact that I was not expecting anything, and I was aware of the difficulties. I think that was the three things which helped me. And also the fact that I was so motivated. It was my dream again.
Wow. You have touched on a lot of things, a lot of points that I want to, and I'm really, really curious about this, because one point that I really liked about like the way you described your integration is that you wanted to live like the people in the village.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's very important, because like you want to like put yourself in their shoes, like you want to just see how it feels to be like them, like not like you are in the village, you have your space, but also like not like I'm gonna do the same thing as I did when I lived in Rabat or Casablanca. So you designed your own space according to like it's a new experience, and I feel like same as you. Like I was living I had my own space, and I had to decorate, and I put things that like, for example, like a lot of flip charts and a lot of like things that helps me to be inspired, but also like as you said, like a private space where you feel home, you feel like you belong to this community, like Berber symbols and like pictures you've taken from your site, and that's amazing. And also you said that you went without expectations, and
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that, because when you go with expectations, you tend
Mm-hmm.
to be kind of
Disappointed.
disappointed, right? And then you were aware of difficulties. You were aware that it's not a beautiful, I mean, it's not a, a world of like amazement and wonders. There's going to be like problems
And
during
it's
the
not
journey.
holidays as well.
Exactly. It's not a paid holidays. When you go on vacation
Yeah.
and you're a tourist, you have a mission.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really curious, because you said it was a dream. You were motivated, and like that's really like makes me question like what was the source of motivation, and like why was it a dream for you to go to this site or this Start CorpsAfrica experience?
Actually, it started in the US when I went for an exchange program at age 21. I heard about the Peace Corps,
Mm-hmm.
and I was fascinated about this idea of going for 2 years and delving into the life of a totally different environment and people. I was amazed by this idea because I love difference and I love multiculturalism, hearing about other people's experiences, where they come from, what's the national dish, what's the national dress. I love difference. I really love difference, and for me, that experience of really living day by day into the life of someone else. It was extremely exciting for me. It was an adventure. It was a call for adventure. It was a call for difference, and also the fact. So yeah, by the way, I remember asking about the Peace Corps and hearing that they only accept Americans, and I remember being so disappointed and creating a Facebook page about it, saying to all those who think the Peace Corps should accept international applicants. So I mean, my Facebook page didn't go anywhere, but when I came back to Morocco on my last day as a bachelor student, I heard about CorpsAfrica. Actually, Liz came to Al Akhawain speaking about it. And I was like, oh my God, this is it's like someone has heard me and has brought to me the kind of experience I was looking for. So yeah, there was this there was this will to live something different and to go on a human adventure. But also I remember since I was a kid, I've always been attracted by village life and by the countryside. And remote places. I've always been attracted by remote places, like what's going over there, very, very far away. What's going over there? How are people living over there? So there was this attraction as well. And also the fact that I had some experiences in social work, and I really loved that. I remember having amazing feelings of being useful to others, of being helpful. And CorpsAfrica was was offering to me again this opportunity to be useful and to be helpful and to do something that will not only serve me and serve my life, but also serve the lives of others. So for me, it was a combination of all things I wanted to do and I hope to do.
Yeah.
So that's why it had become a dream for me. Mm-hmm. And also the fact I was really angered by the idea that we have to follow a certain pattern. You go to school, you get a job, then you get married, then you have children. No, I wanted to get out of this pattern. I wanted to take a year from my life and just do something different. And CorpsAfrica again was offering me this opportunity, mm-hmm. because it's difficult to do something different alone. When mm-hmm. you're backed by an organization, by an institution, it's easier to be accepted in your host environment, I think. Mm-hmm.
Yes, those are really, really great points. And one word that stuck with me, like the idea of like attraction. So I feel like there was a chemistry between you and what you have done, what you want to do. And all this chemistry happens because of your background, your life experiences, and like your vision of how life should be and what do you want to do in your future. So like you mentioned the connection, like you went to the US and then you came back with ideas and like motivation, you want to do something for your country. And then you came back and you found it ready. Like here, we're waiting for you, like to carry on your dream, but also the sense of adventure, differences, getting to know the others, the idea of diversity and multiculturalism, that you want to experience something outside of your comfort zone and different than you. And one very, very important note, and I share the same vision of you, is like, don't follow the narrative, like, okay, get graduate, get a job, get married, settle down. You know, this narrative like of like, you know, normalcy, you know, like you should just follow the social orders of your society, but also like you want to be an anarchist, but in a positive way, like to develop yourself, to learn more about yourself.
Yeah,
like
totally.
For example, like who knows that if you take an experience like CorpsAfrica and like have your life on a pause, like your academic and professional life, and experience something different, you might find new routes or new passions or new like you discover yourself more than you said. Like of course it will. CorpsAfrica gives us an opportunity all to help, but also we were helped. I mean, I found a lot about myself during that experience. And I also found another, like I came to CorpsAfrica with a hat, and I get out with different hats. You know what I'm saying? Like we're wearing different hats right now. So yeah, thank you very much for sharing all those insights. They're really, really amazing.
But definitely, you mentioned something really important, which is self-knowledge. Mm-hmm. This experience is great for knowing who you are and what you can do, what you thought you can do, but you cannot do, what you thought you liked, but you don't actually like. And that really, I mean, CorpsAfrica as well taught me a lot about myself that I didn't know before.
Yeah, you learn that you're more adventurous, and you're more strong than you think, like, and you're more resourceful, and you can do things, right? Like you can be useful in a lot of situations. And
actually, the fact that right now I'm trying to start my own project, my own farming project, a big part of it is because my experience with CorpsAfrica taught me that I can handle a project. I can be self-employed and just handle a project from beginning to end, from design to implementation to evaluation.
That's amazing.
But again, you learn that you can do these things, but you also learn that you cannot do these things alone. So you always need to just actively listen to others and include their point of views and work with others and build a team and build relationships.
Exactly. So like a lot of people, a lot of students, they had to take a course on project management for 2-3 years to be able to do a project. As for CorpsAfrica, it's 1 year, but you learned so much more, but like one small aspect of it, which is like project management, how to run a project. So that's something that we should really be grateful of. Saâdia, is there any like story, like you said that you discovered a lot about yourself? Is there any specific story or something that happened to you and you learned a lot about yourself during your service?
Oh my God, like so many stories.
Just like one story, like, oh, like that a story you tell to everyone, like probably you didn't know that you were capable of doing something and you did it during the I can share one.
Yeah,
I
please,
share one, then you
maybe
can.
can I start?
Yeah. So like before CorpsAfrica, I didn't know about engineering or architecture or design. I didn't know that I had the skills. But during my service, I mean, the main project that I worked on was water. So bringing water to the village, or to having access easily to water, because women and men and kids, they had to hike for miles to fetch for water from a spring. So all I want to do is connect water to their houses, so that like they can have an easy access to water. That's the main project. And so like in the beginning, I had to I had to do something that shows some experience in engineering, like drawing the maps and drawing like where's the water source, where's the water reservoirs, where's the houses, how can we connect the with piping. And I have done it. Like I was not thinking that I'm an engineer or architect, but like I have designed something that I showed to engineers, and they're like, oh, okay, we can implement that. I was like, okay, cool. All we need is like, I need to push myself to do this work, because otherwise I'm gonna be waiting for an engineer to come to my site. It was like waiting for people to come. It was like difficult, because I needed to do something. I needed like a push or like an initiative, and that helped me to. And afterwards, 3 or 4 water engineers came to my site, and it was amazing.
Yeah, actually, our project as well was about water. It was an irrigation reservoir. And me too, I had to draw an irrigation reservoir and to show it to architects and to engineers. And my drawing was so funny. I remember when I showed it to an architect. I mean, he was really touched. And I think it was part of it was thanks to this very funny drawing that he decided he wanted to help me. Because he could see that I was really serious about it, and I was doing my best. And though my drawing was not perfect and was very childish, but still
it makes sense, right? Like,
yeah. But I mean, I had so many stories. I like, actually, there is a story that I really like to tell people. I don't know really why, but I remember that day I was really touched and fascinated and surprised. It has to do with a candle holder. Un porte-chandelle. So I remember before before going to my site packing, one of the rare things, like objects I wanted to carry with me, was a candle holder, just in case there's no electricity. But I ended up not taking it, because I didn't want to take anything except just the basics, really. And then I ended up not needing a candle holder because I had electricity. But one day I stayed in in the public bath for longer than I should have, and I needed some light. So my host sister brought me this very old and dirty container, and inside of it there was a candle and there was light, and she brought it to me, and I was fascinated that I don't need a candle holder. There you have this small, ugly, dirty container. It can be used for to handle light, and light is all I need. All I needed was that little flame to help me finish my bath in the dark. And I was really touched by this story. I don't know if you get really my point, but it's just that there's so many things we don't need, and we forget the essential. The essential is not the candle holder. You can hold the flame, the light by anything really. Recycle, upcycle. Don't buy a candle holder or anything else.
Well, you might criticize me because I have a candle holder.
Okay.
This is from like a Moroccan design because it reminds me of home. But
I guess that's...
I like your story because, you know, I'm not sure if this is like too weird, but candles were the symbol of my service.
Okay.
Because for me, like a candle, like is a symbol of hope, and a symbol of like positivity and lights. There's a light under the end of the tunnel. And so like there's a lot of times where like we lost electricity in the village and we had to use candles in my site. And now that I came to the city and I don't need candles, I like candles on the dark because it reminds me of a time where like it was necessary. It was a necessity, right? But I get your point that like, you know, sometimes like the excess things, the materialist things, like we don't need. We need essentials, and we need to live a simple life.
And it's also this contact with the flame, I think.
Yeah.
That maybe you miss. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's a really amazing story. Thank you for sharing that with us. And so I know now from this conversation that you have worked with kids, you have taught kids, and you have worked with the whole community to do water systems,
with men.
Specifically. But I'm sure there was a role for women, no?
Not at all in the project.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
It was an irrigation water reservoir, and women had nothing to do with that. I had to work only with men, and at the beginning, actually, it was very intimidating. Not only of the language barrier, but also of the gender barrier. So at the beginning, I remember it was my host father who would facilitate the community meetings for me. And sometimes I would they would completely exclude me from the meetings. Wow. They would speak in Amazigh only, and I would ask them like, please, can you translate? I would try to get into the conversation. They would speak 2 words in Arabic and then completely move on to Amazigh, and not pay attention to me at all. But with time, and by the end of the project, I remember I even used to raise my voice. I had gained a lot of confidence throughout the 10 months I stayed in my host village. And by the time, I think the fact that at the beginning they really didn't pay attention to me, I think it was also due to the factor of trust, because they had many NGOs coming before and people before and making promises, but promises are not kept. Projects don't happen, so they were a bit wary at the beginning, and I totally understand that. But by the time we managed to get building materials to the site and we started building the reservoir, my voice had gained importance.
That's great. Yeah.
And my presence had gained importance. And yeah, and I could organize community meetings by myself. But at the beginning, it was my host father who was really helpful.
Yeah.
And
No,
also
I know.
I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No, it's fine. I interrupted
and
you.
also the Muqaddam, the local authority. The Muqaddam he was a key person in my experience. He was extremely helpful because I was stationed in a village where there were many conflicts between the people, and old time conflicts, and very trivial conflicts, really. And it didn't help the fact that, and actually most of the conflicts in the village were because there were two opposed guest houses, two enemy guest houses. And I was living with one family of the guest house, of one guest house. So it's like the community was split into two. The family one of guest house one with their partisans, and family two with guest house two with their followers. So yeah, it was tricky at the beginning. So that's why when the Muqaddam would step in and really step by my side and support me and tell them that this person has come here. He used to tell them that this person has come here with the permission of higher authorities. So you have to work, you have to listen, and that worked. It worked.
Yeah, some fear elements always come. Many comments. One is that I understand that there's roles in communities in terms of gender roles. Women have their own space, men have their own space. Actually, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, for my case, like women are the gender that really helped me to, or open up my eyes on the idea that water project is needed in the village. Because I used to do like community meetings, and I did like because I know that women's voice sometimes cannot be heard in a male dominant village or something like that. But like I literally went to every house in my village and talked to women and kids, and the stories they told me they were fascinating, and then they were more deeper than a lot of stories that men tell me, because men are shallow stories like, oh, we want this, we want that, like, so like the element of that women helped me to see the big picture of the issues in the village was fascinating. And your second point about conflicts resolution, same thing in the village. There was like camps, 4 or 5 camps of communities, like, and then there's like, as you said, trivial issues once you get to know them better, this family has the issue with family because of irrigation, or this family has, just really not very big issues. But then we learned during the process of how to deal with conflict management, especially when it comes to like a community meeting. Overlook all the issues you have, all the conflicts you have. Here we are trying to deal with an issue that helps all the community. And so like it took me a little bit of time to be neutral and to like, oh, even though like I live with this guy doesn't mean that I'm with this camp or anything.
Yeah.
And so like navigating all this conflict is a very important thing that I'm sure you have done it. I'm sure many volunteers have done it naturally, organically, but also through the engagement and through the experience with the communities.
Actually, one of the things I think it was a good thing I did was that even though I was living with Sibarahim and his family, I didn't engage into his association. but I rather engaged more with the other associations because it was a very small village and two associations. By the end of the project, finally, the two associations merged, and today there is one association, which I think it was a big step.
Great. That's an achievement for you as well.
Yeah.
Peacemaker.
Yeah, it's even actually I think it's even as important as the irrigation reservoir, which is standing over there.
Yeah, because like with conflict, we cannot do anything. So like once you narrow those conflicts and make people work together, that's when things happen. Exactly. So thank you for sharing those stories. Now I have another question. As you know, in every experience like this, there is like the bad, the good, the high and the lows. What are some like strong moment or some story like when you felt so incredibly happy? And what is like a moment, maybe like it was like a little bit of challenge, like a painful experience or like a challenging experience that you dealt with?
Well, my happiest moments were with the children.
Okay.
I love children so much, and children love me. So it's a two-way relationship, thankfully. So I used to spend a lot of time with children. I used to play with them like a child and to follow them, and they would follow me, and they would show me their playground and show me how they play and where they play. And I think those were the most powerful moments actually in my whole life, not even in my experience with CorpsAfrica. It's these moments of pure happiness and pure simplicity I shared with these kids who had not yet come to adulthood and experienced the problems of adulthood and the trivialities of adulthood also. So they were just in complete symbiose and communion with the elements around them. They were playing with water, they were playing with stones, they were playing with sticks, they were playing with earth, and for me it was just amazing to follow them and just observe them and observe their laughs, and sometimes they would fight and start crying. And I realized that it doesn't work to yell at them. So I started. So after they would fight, I started telling them. I stopped yelling at them every time they would fight, and I would tell them to say sorry to one another and hug each other. And it was amazing how they would start laughing while they were just been crying like 30 seconds ago. As soon as they would hug each other, they would be laughing and totally forgotten that they had fought. And for me, the word of children was so beautiful, and yeah, it was beautiful, and just it made me happy. And every time I felt low, every time I felt homesick, I felt discouraged by the difficulties of the project, I would just spend time with children and watch them play, and then I would feel better. I would feel like nothing matters anymore. Just, I mean, when it comes to the difficult moments, they were linked to my health actually. For the 10 months, I was most often healthy. I was most often sick than healthy. I was getting sick all the time, like every two weeks I was getting sick because weather conditions were very, very tough, especially in winter. I never experienced such cold before. Even Ifran, it's cold, but
when it comes to below zeros and stuff, yeah.
You have heaters, you have all kind of comfort, but in my house village there was nothing. just blankets,
Mm-hmm.
just blankets and the and the clothes, clothes, yeah, clothes.
Clothes.
Yeah,
Your
I'm sorry.
clothes, like your
Clothes
wardrobe.
you have on you. That's it. So I really suffered so much
Mm-hmm.
from the cold. Um, Also, I would get health issues with the food. I was not used to the dairy products, and processed dairy products directly from from the cow.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, one time I had food poisoning and I had to be transported all the way from my host village to the hospital, which was like 4 hours,
Mm-hmm.
4 hours away. And I realized how much suffering these people go through when they get sick. Like how many women they end up giving birth um, in the middle of the road because the hospital is just too far away.
Yeah.
So these moments when I was sick and I had no I had no I had no access to doctors or to medication. I mean, it was very difficult moments. It was very difficult moments, but it even brought me closer to my host community and to human suffering in general.
Mm-hmm. Well, exactly, Sadia. What cannot kill you makes you stronger, or what doesn't kill you make you stronger, make you strong.
Yes.
So you have touched on a lot of things that are reality, you know. I mean, first, the kids are meditation for me as well. So whenever I'm feeling down or anything, I go play soccer with the kids or go hike with the kids. The kids were like my guide. Like they were the ones who taught me Berber, taught me like language, taught me culture, taught me a lot of things that I didn't know. And so like as you say, like observing them, like seeing how like they're innocent and like how like they with simple things they create joy. That's something even joyful to you to watch. Now we have kids in the city. They have all this play toys and all these gadgets, but they're not happy.
Yeah, it's very scary
I
actually.
know, right? Like it's the health. I mean, you know, the environment where you were, like it's not something you could control, right? Like the environment of the mountains is difficult sometimes in the winter times, especially when there's no as you said, comforter of like heaters and stuff. So layers, you had to wear a lot of layers and
Yeah,
but
you become like an onion.
exactly.
so, so many layers of clothing.
Exactly. For me, honestly, that winter, it was difficult for me as well. I mean, I woke up one day with like 6 inches of snow. Like it was incredible. I've never seen that before. And but it would become a story, like, you know, like we made like a snowman and with the kids. We made a snowman for the first time. We did like we played with the snow, like, and it was, I mean, of course it was cold, but like now I remember that times I want to come back and deal with it because I got used to it. The people there got used to it, and you see them like wearing like 1, 2 layers, and I don't get it. I don't understand.
Yeah.
But the people are, you are the product of your environment. You adapt when
Mm.
you live in an environment. That's health. I mean, it's also something you cannot control. Everyone got sick. I mean, at some point, I got sick when I came to the US because
Okay.
things changed. Like that some bacteria and some viruses, like your body is not immune to, and like
Mm.
your body needs to adapt. So, and I'm sorry that you had to deal with those health issues, but I'm happy that you have also like you learned the story. I mean, you through this like health issues and all these challenges, you have seen how those people live. Like you said, women deliver babies on the roads, or like hard access to health institutions. But
Yeah.
those stories, your stories and my stories and other people's stories, are bringing awareness to the government officials to do something about these situations. That's why we're ambassadors of change in those communities. And now I know that there's a lot of initiatives. For example, 5 years ago there was no road. Now there is a paved road on
Yeah,
both sides.
yeah, there is a road as well now,
Yeah,
going to my host village.
exactly. And I know that they're working on a hospital. I know they're yeah, there's a lot of things that are, and honestly, you know, you and I and a lot of volunteers were some of the reasons why these things are improving. I mean, of course, the people there had to do things, something about it, but like, you know, you, because you have a narrative, you shared your story with the world. That's why, that's how it works. But thank you for this profound stories. Now, like maybe a few more questions, because I I enjoy really talking to you about my
Yeah, me
experience.
too. Thank you so much.
What's one lesson that you have learned from CorpsAfrica and that's gonna last with you for your lifetime? Maybe like, is there like, is your personal perspective about the world has changed during? I mean, I know has changed, but how it has changed with CorpsAfrica?
If there is one, I mean, I learned so many things from CorpsAfrica, but if there is one thing which I shall stick to my whole life, is compassion. Um, don't judge anyone. Don't judge anyone, because you don't know, you don't know what struggles and battles are going on with that person. And listen, actively listen to others, to what they have to say, and try to feel, just be sensible and open, and not isolated in your own word and own ideas and own teachings and convictions and beliefs, because it's all relative. um, so really, I'd say just compassion, humility as well. um, it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, whose son uh, are you, who's your family, where did you study, nothing matters really. We're all humans, and we're all capable of great things, and we all deserve, we all deserve a, a dignifying life. um, so yeah, so I think those are really beautiful um, values that I learned
Yeah.
from CorpsAfrica.
Mhm.
And also, um, just if there is something you can do to help, just do it. Don't say, "Oh, I studied this. I won't do this." Um, no, if there is anything you can do to help, even if it's below what you think are your competencies, or
Mhm.
whatever, just do it.
Exactly.
Just do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, so compassion, humility, no judgment, and you just embrace everyone wherever they come from,
Mhm.
um, because I think that's the real wealth, and the true wealth
Mhm.
is how much you can give, how much love you can give, how much attention you can give, um, how kind are you.
Mhm.
That's the real wealth. That's the real wealth. It's not how much money you earn, or how many degrees you have, or who your parents are. That's not wealth for me. Um, so I
Mhm.
mean, it's very complex, and
No, these are, you
um,
have simplified a lot of things. I mean, you have simplified like values or 5 values of a whole service, and like those are like values of life. Don't judge, because you know, as you said, we can learn something from somebody. With like, you don't know that what that people can, what that person can do for us. So no judgments. Like, you just take people as they are, learn from them, listen. One of the really great lessons is listen to people, be open-minded and be sensible. You said compassion and humility. That's a very, very nice value, because when you're humble and you like you learn so much from being humble. You learn so much about people, and the idea that you give, because when you give, you receive. Like the world will reward you in a way or another. You have to give, and the true wealth is what you say? You say the real wealth is happy, is like giving, right?
Is how much love you can give, and how
Giving
much
love.
kindness you can, yeah, I mean, how kind you are and how much
Exactly.
love you can give, really.
Yeah, you are not your bank account. You are not how many cars you have or
No,
degrees.
no,
You are,
none of that.
yeah, you are the love that you gave to the world. That's
Yeah.
profound. That's beautiful. Thank you. I'm gonna write it down. Sadia, thank you so much for this incredible conversation. I have learned so much, and I'm sure our audience have learned so much from your talk and from you speak from the heart, so which is amazing. Any final words before we say see you soon and good luck on your career?
Oh, thank you so much, Mourad. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you and thank Liz for this opportunity to speak up and tell about my story with CorpsAfrica. I really love that Liz is always running after volunteers to raise their voice. She wants us to speak up about this experience, and I really want to thank her and thank you for that, for making that possible. I think my final words would be, I really wish from the deep bottom of my heart that CorpsAfrica service would be an obligation for every young person. Yeah, I want it to be like military service all the time. After school, you have to go through CorpsAfrica. It's a must. Like I want it to be really this obligatory service, because I think if I mean, speaking of Morocco, because we're Moroccans, but I think if every young Moroccan would go through CorpsAfrica service after his studies, I think we would build a wholly different society. We would build a very cohesive society and loving society, and we would solve many problems, many problems.
That's
because Moroccans will get to know each other from north to south, and yeah, and yes, so those are my final words, really.
Thank you so much. No, these are profound. I mean, I've never thought about it, but I mean, now it makes sense, because the amount of things you have learned and the values you learned from this, it's like CorpsAfrica is like a new school of thoughts and of like discipline and personality and values that we all embrace. And then once you graduate from CorpsAfrica school, you are an active citizen. You are a responsible citizen who care about the real issues of community and wants to bridge the gaps of problems and conflicts and bring peace and love and solutions to the world.
Yeah, not only it makes you a better human being, but it also makes you a more responsible citizen and a better citizen.
Well, thank you so much, Saâdia. Very good. So we will definitely record this conversation so people can listen to you and listen to your message and probably take action for this change that we all need. Thank you so much. I wish you the best of luck in your project. And I'm sure you're going to be successful in the project. Keep us updated. Thank you very much and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Mourad, and I wish you as well the best with your PhD, and keep in touch.
Thank you. Our audience, thank you so much for being with us, and stay tuned for episode 27 or 28. All right. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.